Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hello, I'm Charlene Schmidt.
I'm Patrick Schmidt.
We just got done watching The Fall of Night, episode 22 of season 2, and the season finale of Babylon 5. It's time to babble for 5. Jakar was right. Centauri are not going to stop with just taking over the Narn. They're already pushing the boundaries, and they wasted no time.
I don't think it's all that surprising that Sheridan went one direction and Earth Dome went another.
I think this says a lot about the dynamic of what's happening on Earth right now versus what's happening on Babylon 5 right now. And Sheridan had to have known that giving a Narn ship a little bit of sanctuary till they were back on their feet was going to make Babylon 5 a little bit of a target, a hotbed.
I'm pretty sure it was Nightwatch.
Oh, it was definitely Nightwatch, because as we found out, this little organization, man, they're seeing and hearing just about everything.
You never trust somebody wearing an armband.
One of my favorite things in this episode is the fact that Ivanova shuts that guy down. Oh!
Of course, they're right. This is how it begins. This is how authoritarianism begins. This is
That's
how
right.
thought police begins.
I mean, it's very Orwellian. Nightwatch might have started off innocently enough for Zack, but this had shady written all over it. So that leads me to wonder now, how do you think of Zack?
It's not that he's a bad guy, it's that he just made a bad decision and now he's got to live with the consequences.
I think as an audience member, we want to think that he's one of the good guys. Does he reconcile this? Does he turn to the dark side? Is he going to become an agent of the Nightwatch? A complete kind of random thought that I had while we watched this episode. While everybody's kind of gathering in the garden area, I noticed there's a few kind of like conversations, people going off into the bushes to have secret meetings.
Yeah, but my favorite was Jakar hanging out.
Yeah. Hey, Ivanova. I actually thought Delenn and Kosh was a little more secretive. Like, what are you guys gonna go off and do? Big reveal here. What happens when Kosh comes out of his encounter suit? The whole thing about how everybody would recognize him. Now we understand what that means.
Basically, people see what they want to see, or see what he tells them to see, which I think is kind of cool.
But he does save the day. He makes that sacrifice, and everybody talking about it. I really wonder what that means for Kosh and the Vorlons.
I think that we're going to see Kosh come out of the encounter suit more often, or never again. I'm not sure which direction it'll go, though. There's going to be that line in the sand of who saw it and who didn't.
Right.
And all of a sudden, we have sides, and the Vorlons are on a side. The darkness is coming, right? And Kosh is the light.
So the army of light is going to align with the being of light?
And it's no surprise that the shadows and the spider ship, they've all been on the side of dark all along. And, you can see the lines starting to form.
Now, what about Earth signing a non-aggression treaty with the Centauri?
Sheridan saw the light. Maybe somebody like Morden wouldn't. Maybe somebody like the president wouldn't. It makes me wonder if humans are split in this dark-light dichotomy.
Maybe, although I think EarthGov is kind of making the decision for humans, at least on a global scale.
Sure. If you're in that situation, you do the things to protect your own, it becomes tribalism. And I think that Sheridan is trying to push them toward a different direction. You can't just look out for yourself, because if you only look out for yourself and no one else is looking out for you, with you, you're destined to die alone.
The fact that Earth signed an agreement with the Centauri now says a couple things about Earth, in my opinion. And the big thing is that President Clark, or whoever has helped make this decision, it's a very cowardly move in the long run.
Yes.
Because you're right. And I agree with Sheridan. You need allies.
And even if you are the biggest and the baddest, even if you are Goliath, there's a David out there.
I feel like Sheridan's seeing the bigger picture, and EarthGov is just, oh no, let's make peace with them before they attack us.
Exactly.
Cowards.
Which is why the uniform doesn't mean what it used to anymore.
Yeah, that was an interesting thought too. So a lot has happened. Do you have anything at all that you want to cram into this 5-minute episode that we haven't discussed yet?
We have so much to talk about, and yet there's one little thing that I've realized just in this episode that pisses me off.
Oh, what's that?
Data crystals are really important things, right?
Yeah.
And the way they just toss them back and forth I'm like, ah, take care of that crystal. It's the solution. As we found, it's like, it's going to be the thing that defeats darkness.
Maybe
As
so.
we saw with Mr. Shooty Stars.
Oh, Kefir.
The fact that he did what he was able to do and apparently died in the attempt was based on a data crystal, and then he sent data on a crystal out. That's the whole key to this whole thing, is the data crystals. Take care of them. No more throwing them.
It's going to be one of your big pet peeves, isn't it? I'll add it to the list.
Now, all of that said, I'm looking forward to season 3. There are more things that have me intrigued than piss me off. So,
okay, this is good.
And I'm ready for season 3.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
And I hope you are too.
Yes, yeah, please let us know in the comments what you're thinking and what you are expecting out of season 3 if you're watching for the very first time, like Patrick is. And of course, if you're a seasoned veteran, please refrain from spoiling in the comments, because this is a fun ride. It's a lot of fun watching this show with you. You see things that I maybe have never thought or seen 20-something years after I've, first watched this show. That's pretty cool.
And part of the fun, too, is that when you watch it and how you watch it changes your perspective on it. And we'd love to hear from you. Has your perspective changed in the first 2 seasons of watching this, especially if you're a veteran and you've been through Babylon 5 before? How has your view on things changed through the first 2 seasons? Leave us a comment. Let us know.
That would be really cool. And also, please like, subscribe. And we will come back before we begin season 3 with a season 2 wrap-up. We'll talk about the whole season. We'll do it live, and we will be taking your questions. Either live, or if you know you cannot make the stream, we will announce a time when the time comes up.
And the way you can find out about that stream is follow the Nerd Party at Join Nerd Party on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we will be posting all the details there when we're going to do our season 2 season wrap-up live stream.
And you can also follow the Nerd Party on Facebook. It's facebook.com/the Nerd Party. So check that out. Look for our times. And if you can join us live, please join us.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So until then, everybody.
See ya.